Thanks so much. Let's bring in Democratic Senator Dick Durbin of Illinois. He's the Senate Majority Whip, and he's the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee that just released this report. Senator, thanks for joining us. I'll get to your report in a moment, but I want to get your reaction to this breaking news from the Washington Post that former President Trump is telling his aides to not comply with the House's special committee investigating the January 6th insurrection, which has subpoenaed those four aides. Clearly, this shouldn't surprise you, and I'm sure it doesn't. Do you think this is grounds, however, for charges against Trump and these aides of obstruction of Congress?
Let's take it one step at a time. I don't think Mr. Trump's aides are ever going to ask me for advice, but I would suggest modestly follow the law instead of the ravings of this former president. He doesn't have the power to pardon you anymore, and probably, I hope, never will again. And be careful. Follow the law, even if the president is begging you to stay away because of the evidence that you might present.
What about holding them in contempt of Congress or holding former President Trump?
I'm not going to jump ahead of the script here. I think it's up to the Select Committee to issue the subpoenas and to react to witnesses and whether they comply with them. I'm not going to presume the outcome of that. I'll let them take care of that.
So let's turn to your report, which is rather stunning. It lays out some just very upsetting claims made by former Trump officials, including the acting Attorney General, Jeffrey Rosen. But is anything in here that was done by President Trump or DOJ official Jeffrey Clark or anyone else actually a violation of a law?
I can't tell you, Jake, whether it's a specific law that was violated, but I can tell you this for sure. We were a half step away from a constitutional crisis, the likes of which this nation has never seen. Think back on this. November 3rd election. Trump disputes the results, refuses to accept them, goes to 50 or 60 courts across the United States to make his case, flops and fails on every single one of them. Next step, let's go to the Department of Justice. He's got a new Attorney General, acting Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen. Calls him immediately, and as the record we presented shows, on 9 different occasions, either on the phone or calling him into the White House, is badgering this man to buy into the big lie theory. Gives him these crazy theories of vote fraud generated by none other than Rudy Giuliani and others off the internet, and Rosen just basically says, no, they're not credible, I'm not going to do it. Then comes the moment where Trump basically threatens to take away his title as Attorney General and put his buddy, Jeffrey Clark, in the position. I want to tell you, at that moment, January 3rd or 4th of this year, it was a critical moment in our nation's history. Thank goodness the president relented at the last second. His own counsel, Pat Cipollone, basically said it was a murder-suicide pact that he was considering, and that there were going to be resignations all across the country if he did anything this radical. But the president was prepared to do this up until the very last minute.